Mm. This price action is messy as fuck. Hey, what's up, Santiago? Shit, you ready for the power pump tomorrow? Probably not tonight. What I do see is that we close the session with the higher low, and at least so far we have a head and shoulders pattern. I mean, at least so far. Anything can happen overnight for sure, but both on the Nasdaq and the ES. The ES is much cleaner. Obviously, is going to be much cleaner. Um, oops, damn. Well, someone just got their car towed, so I guess they're gonna come out tomorrow morning, or just come downstairs and see that their car is gone. That shit is not fun whatsoever. You don't know what the heck happened, and then especially when you get your car towed overnight. That shit is not fun. Shit. These little well, let me rephrase that. These apartment complexes, they have these contracts with the towing companies, and to where a tow company can exclusively come and tow cars here. Um, being owning a towing company, I didn't know how lucrative owning one is. One of my brothers actually became a manager for a towing company, and they pay him over six figures being a manager. And I mean, they have company outings because I mean, they make so much damn money. They make so much money. It's a very lucrative business, stealing people's cars. It's very lucrative, apparently. I had a I had a situation where one of the tow truck drivers illegally towed my car, and I had to threaten I was like, if I pay for my car, you're gonna pay for everything else. He thought about it and he gave my car back and I didn't have to pay for it. I was like, shit, I'll pay for it. One of your tow truck drivers was wrong. He shouldn't have touched my vehicle. It might have been a blessing in disguise because that was during my quote unquote dark days. I had something lined up too. We was at a little hookah lounge, about to go take her home, and I walk outside my car going, shit, told my shit, yo. Told my shit. Had to figure out where, like, who took the car, I had to call all around. And I'm just glad I was able to find it. This could have been a blessing in disguise, really. So, no reason at all. What the tow truck driver claimed was that I parked in a spot that had a no towing or no parking. You'll be told. And I know it was a lie because uh, this is a spot that we always parked in. It's like a little hookah lounge. The parking lot adjacent from the building acts as like additional parking. There's no sign, nothing. So I knew that the tow truck driver was lying and they were using manipulative tactics that probably work on most people. But I was like, okay, fine. That's fine. I just told him if I pay for this, you're going to pay for it. And I got time. I got time. If I pay for it, you're going to pay for it. And he thought about it because he knew it was wrong. He knew that one of his drivers illegally towed my car. And I think what probably just prompted him to do it was because of the language that I was using. My God, he's using more than 4 syllables. He could be somebody. Oh yeah, that was somebody. Fuck around and find out. You're gonna pay for it, and you're gonna wish that this little $200 that you're gonna try to make me pay. Yeah, you're gonna wish that. Yeah, if I paid for it, shit, it's gonna cost you more than $200. That's why. Honestly, I really don't know why. Uh, well, maybe this is no longer true, but people are under the assumption that if you go to somebody else's establishment yelling and screaming and wanting to fight and threaten, that people are going to give into your demands and give you what you want, and that's usually not ever the case. If you go in there with a threatening manner, then it's just human nature to defend themselves. But if you go in there with a professional tone, you say words that they don't want to hear, like legalese. It's like, dude, I understand mistakes can happen. Just make them feel that this was a mistake, and you know it is a mistake. But if I pay for it, you're going to pay for it, and that's all I had to say. And he was like, I'll let it go this time. I was like, shit, you didn't have to, because you knew that if I pay for it, you're going to pay for it. So, I mean, shit, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. I know that he was wrong, and I have time. But to answer your question, Santiago, I mean, I'm looking at this higher time frame chart, and man, It does look like we're going to see a bullish move, but man, the market is going to chop until it's going to chop. I don't think we're going to get anything tonight, especially on the ES. I mean, you can already see that I mean, the moves happen. So okay, so remember that trade that I took at the end of the stream? You know that shit stopped me out to the tick and then drop. That shit stopped me out to the tick and drop. I mean, I laughed at it because I just thought it was hilarious. But I mean, I was in the sim, but I was like, yo, how crazy it is that this thing found, I mean, it just moved just enough to tick me out, like literally to the tick. And then I come back to the screen, like, oh shit, I got paid in my sim account. And then I had to look at it again. I was like, hold up. Nah, this shit stopped me out. And I was like, ah shit. So maybe a 6 point stop is too tight. Or maybe I should just if the 5 3/4 stops is too tight, I think what I'm gonna probably start doing is if I kind of feel confident, because I mean I knew that I mean with this breaker structure right here, this micro trend line right here, I knew with this micro trend after it broke it, I mean this follow up short was guaranteed. So I guess what I'm gonna start doing is, even though, I mean that would have been 4 more points though. I mean I would add 4 more points of risk to this thing, but mm, mm, I don't know about this one. I guess if I got stopped out and I saw this red candle, I probably would have got back in short and probably put my stop back above that high. One hour, huh? Honestly, I mean, I think I may just because I want to trade gold too, but gold can kind of just be similar to the Nasdaq in terms of how it moves. I mean, it's consistent. It's just that the ES kind of has something for everybody. The ES has something for everybody. You can literally just come in at the ES orb. Honestly, you can literally just trade the ES orb and just be happy with that. You can trade whatever part of the session that you want to trade. I mean, the ES. I mean, I took this little short right here. Uh, when I said, like, because when I came back to my desk and saw that I got stopped out and it was consolidating right here, and then once I saw that sweep of liquidity above this high, I got in short at that candle and just caught that drop. It was like a little 14, 15 point drop to the downside, and then it popped right back up. You can make a lot of money with the ES, man. I'm starting to realize that. I'm starting to really appreciate the structure of the ES. I'm really starting to appreciate it because I wouldn't have taken this trade on the Nasdaq, and even if you did take this trade on the Nasdaq, look how I mean, if you had a tight stop, this thing stopped you out at that orb low about 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times it came right back into that orb and probably stopped everybody that was short at that orb about 6 times. Now you can get stopped out maybe 1 or 2 times on the Nasdaq, but can you really say that if the Nasdaq stops you out 6 times that you'll keep taking the same trade? I don't think so. If the Nasdaq is keep stopping you out, I think what majority of Nasdaq traders did in this situation was like, okay, fine. If I'm getting stopped out here, then I might as well just probably get low or not low. I would get long at these lows at a retest of the low. And I said, I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of people did here. It was get long because she's the way that she was stopping people out. It's hard to not think that she was going to go long. But I mean, if you look at the structure, you look at the EMAs told you to stay short. They didn't flip up. They didn't slant up. That's why I keep the EMAs on my chart so I can kind of focus on which direction I should stay in. All you do is a 5 minute orb with the 50. And I mean, shit, Santiago, that's all that matters, man. That's all that matters. I mean, that's what's great about this market. Nobody can sit here and say that their way is the best way. Nobody can say that. We all make money in our own ways. Mm. Mhm. Well, I mean, technically, I'm gonna have to look at stuff like that. Look like at stuff like that. That's- Because I mean, regardless, man, I mean, even if you miss this, taking that short right there would have been super golden right there. I got all your targets hit in that one. Yeah, sure, man. Just let me know when you post it and I'll showcase it on stream. But yeah. Um the Nasdaq can definitely be tricky. That's kind of why I'm just moving away from it. Or let me rephrase it. The Nasdaq is for fun. If I want to have fun, if I want to just get into a trade and gamble, that's what I'm going to use the Nasdaq for. Just a gamble. I'm going to continue to trade the Nasdaq in the stream account. Mm. Isn't that interesting? I mean, if it gives you what you want. Isn't that interesting? So we got a trend breakout. Nice trade. Do you ever sometimes do you ever take to my bad, brain fart. Have you ever considered taking trades off of the 75 at times? Or 12? Hmm. Oh, really? Okay. So you made 3K with that short today, huh? Well, how much size do you trade? So, what is your strategy with E? Well, not your strategy, but what is your position sizing with ES? How many contracts are you trading? And basically, you look for this kind of consolidation right there. And you talk about on the Nasdaq, Alfred. Damn. So you basically trade about 10 minis at one time, and I can see why. I mean, you can definitely do that on the ES. Trading 10 contracts doesn't feel like a it doesn't feel like you're about to lose your heart being in 10 contracts on the ES. I mean, I guess it won't be perfect, but I mean, at least you get it right. It won't be perfect. I mean, you'll get something. Well, I guess this. Well, I guess it really depends. I guess it really depends. Hmm. Hmm. guess nothing that I'll be comfortable with. Mm, Well, I'm not necessarily interested in those types of trades, though. Not interested in those trades. I really have to consider that. I have to really consider. I have to consider that because I mean, it's not those small swings. I'm not. I don't care about those, but mm, yeah, I see that. Yeah, and congratulations on that, man. You still have your 150K funded account. I mean, how have you been doing in that? I've been trying to take it slow on my funded account as well. It just seems that as long as I got these evals, I'm not going to be focused on it the way that I should be focused on it. Um, I just kind of want. Mm, I mean, technically it worked. I mean, technically. Mm, mm. Mm. I mean, well, I guess it really does bounce before. Yeah, that is a. Mm, okay, man. I mean, I guess I just have to. I guess I'll test it out tomorrow. Guess I'll test it out tomorrow. We'll see. I mean, because I'm not necessarily looking for. a small swing. I'm just looking for just a reliable area to trade. Pull back. I mean, it pulls right back into perfectly. Shorts. Mm. I think so because it really depends. It really depends if you get the lifetime or the subscription. And then I think if you're trading on Rhythmic and the CQC connection is, I think it's more expensive to have the whatever connection Tradovate use. So 90 times 20. So I mean, if you're using the subscription across 20 accounts, it's like $1,800 to activate all of them. $1,800. I think the lifetime license is probably like 140, 140, maybe 150. Yeah, it's about 2,800 to activate if you get the lifetime license, which, in my opinion, actually, I think the lifetime license might be more expensive than that. Let me see, because I think the lifetime license might be expensive, more expensive than that. Oh, CGQ. Thank you. So apparently, according to apparently it's really $340 because I was thinking to myself, I was like, no matter which option you pick, Apex gets their money because I mean, if it's $90 times the 3 months, because after 3 months you can withdraw all of your funds. So I really don't see anybody keeping their funds in their account past the 3 months. That's $270, and according to this, a lifetime license costs about $340 and $360 on Trade of Eight. Yeah, and I'm also sometimes they have deals. Actually, let me just look at it because sometimes they do have deals on their on a lifetime license. Mm. Yeah, it's about $340 at a regular price for a lifetime license. It's 340, and then I guess if you catch it on a deal, it's cheaper than that. But full price is 340 for the 300Ks. If you get a 50K, is 160 for the lifetime license. Yeah, according to the lawsuit, the last time and this is net. So this is after the expenses are paid, bills are paid, salaries, all that other stuff. But Apex was netting about $20 million a month, around that 15 to $20 million a month. It's cheaper to pay the subscription. It's cheaper. The subscription is way cheaper. Yeah, it's just cheaper to pay the subscription fee. Because like I said, Apex gets their money either way. Either you give them 3 months up front, or uh, if you keep your accounts for the 3 months, they're going to get their money for. So I mean, that's basically how you have to look at it. Uh, yeah, I mean, that's why a lot of people were trying to get into this prop firm space. They were just trying to get into this gambling money. I mean, it's all this is gambling money. I mean, it's just a creative way to keep gamblers comfortable in their own home and have they keep feeding the machine. The house still wins. Even if, I mean, Apexes have multiple $1 million payouts, and obviously, it's as a business, you don't want to pay uh, one of your customers $1 million, because I mean, let's just be honest, we're customers over there at Apex. They don't get anything out of this when they have to do $1 million payouts. So obviously, they're not going to be happy about it, but it's not going to hurt them. I mean, shit, they was making $20 million per freaking month. I mean, shit, how much money do you damn need? It's like, come on, come on, and you're netting 20 million. I mean, that's crazy. So they're making more. Like, just think about that. They're making more than that a month. I mean, how what was like if you like have you can you imagine if you was making $20 million a month? What the hell would you even do? Because I mean, shit, just 1 month, you're not spending $20 million in a lifetime if you're spending responsibly, and even if you're spending erratically. I mean, to blow through 20 million, you would have to buy and crash a private jet somewhere. You would have to do some really crazy things, really crazy, just to blow through 20 million. I know it's possible, but that is a lot to blow through, and they're making that every month. Yeah, doing a whole bunch of nothing. I'll find something to do. I'm not the type just to sit around and do nothing, but I will say, uh, I will say that being comfortable is not what people think it is, man. And that's why I now understand, or I don't want to say now because that would suggest that this is something that I just discovered, but it's understandable why your favorite celebrity is in and out of rehab. They have some form of addiction, and or they're always working, or they're always doing something, or they're going crazy. They're in a mental institution of some sort. Us humans, we hate to be comfortable for whatever reason. And that's why, like, I really think that the human species is supposed to be slaves. I mean, I feel like we're engineered to be slaves because it's like, just think about the fact, just the fact that if once you get like we're working towards a goal, we tell ourselves we want financial freedom. We want to be able to do the things that we want to do with our time. And once you finally reach that destination because you're working towards that destination, and then you get to that destination and you're like, man, now I got my time to myself. I can just sit around, watch TV, and just do what I want. And then obviously at first it's like a vacation because especially if you've been working every day or all the time, it feels like a vacation. And then that becomes your new normal. Vacation becomes your new normal. And if your form of escape becomes your normal, how do you escape? You can't escape from luxury. You can't, I mean, you just can't. And that's why a lot of people just go crazy. There's no escape. That's why, I mean, shit, it's understandable why Diddy had those freak offs. It's understandable why rich people do shit like that. They have these orgy, all white or black or blue, whatever color parties, and they just do shit with each other. And then after everything is said and done, it's like it never happened. And, they go about their business. It's understandable. It's understandable. Us humans, if we're not working towards a purpose, we don't feel fulfilled. We get depressed when we just stop working. Like, I mean, as crazy as that sounds, we get depressed. That's why you always got to find something to do. They said the road to heaven feels like hell, and the road to hell feels like heaven, and that's so true. So freaking true. Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's why it's called the hero's journey. It's the journey, not the destination. It's the journey, not the destination. And it just sucks. Like, dude, it really just sucks. It really sucks, man. That's what they don't want to tell you, because I mean, if you discover that halfway through, when you don't fully understand, this is why. And I'm not using this term in a derogatory way, but this is how people become incels, male or female. And I'm not talking about in terms of hating a gender. I'm talking about in terms of just hating things in general. Why do I got to do that? It doesn't make sense to do this. It's doom and gloom. Don't want to do nothing because they're not motivated to do nothing. Nothing matters. Just doom and gloom all the damn time. All the time. what they call what those Wojak memes. They call them doomers. I think that's a great depiction uh, of what happens being a doomer. But I will say that trading is definitely I see it more as a hobby. I haven't thought about it, but it's definitely something that runs in the back of my mind. When I allow myself to be a $20 million trader, where I'm making $20 million a month from trading, it will purely be because of sport. Purely because of sport. It wouldn't be because of anything else other than that. I'm not making $20 to sell a Discord or to start a mentorship group or anything else like that. Or to take the screenshot and brag about it on social media. Well, yeah, I'll probably do that. But it would just be purely sport. The money would, I mean, obviously the money to sustain a lifestyle is obviously will be spent, but majority of that money will sit in an account. It's going to sit in an account because I mean, the fuck, I don't need $20 million. I think you can do everything that you want to do with probably less than a million. I think probably like if you had 500,000, you can probably do everything. You would probably need more than that to sustain that. If you have a high powered lifestyle, then obviously 500,000 probably would not be enough. But if you're just doing like just regular stuff and just enjoying the world, 500,000, you can probably do a lot with that. Everything, travel the world, probably the entire country on 5,000, 500,000. And I'm pretty sure you can probably do it in less than 500 in my opinion. I'm just using that 500 as an example because $20 million a month. I think I think what happens to people when you make that much money, because it happens so this is what usually happens to like child prodigies, is that they achieve so much when they're young that when they become an adult, there's nothing else for them to do that's meaningful. That's why you don't see a lot of child prodigies be successful into their adulthood. I think the only one that we've seen was Michael Jackson. I really can't think of anyone other than him. And I'm pretty sure there are, but Michael Jackson is the biggest example of probably the only child prodigy that found success in their adulthood. I can't think of anybody else because once they peak, it just goes downhill from there. They get caught up in drugs. They're in a toxic relationship, a spy that spirals to the downside. They're a doomer. It's all doom and gloom. Nothing matters. Yeah, I can only think of Michael Jackson. I mean, unless y'all guys can think of somebody. And that's absolutely true, Alfred. And that is so true. We all know that to be true. So why don't we do it? Why don't we do it? Like, what's up with that? Why don't we allow ourselves to fall in love with the process? Why is it that we tell ourselves that, man, it's the process and the money will follow? And then when we get on these charts, it's like, fuck the process. We want the money now. What's up with that? And the market is definitely engineered to take advantage of that. It's definitely engineered to take advantage of that. Yeah. You gonna turn on the cruise? Shit, I heard that a lot of these cruise lines updated their they had a lot of policy changes at a lot of these cruise lines. Apparently you can't go out to sea and have fun no more, apparently. Honestly, I have no interest in going on a cruise. I really don't. I really don't see what the interest is. I don't have an interest of being out in the middle of the ocean. Alfred, you said it. You used to overthink every trade. You want to retire on a cruise? So, Alfred, what changed for you? Yeah, that's what's up, man. Honestly, I need to start doing that too. I find myself hesitating more often than I should. Yep, that's true, man. So true. Yeah, it's just so true. Just hate it sometimes. Just hate it. Mm. And it worked. It just was really small. That was really small. Mm. 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 Seems like nothing one seems to work. Mm. Nothing wants to stay consistent. Mm, 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 mm. Just have to figure this one out, man. I gotta figure it out. I guess I'll spend my weekend again figure this crap out. Yeah, and that's the difficult part right there, Santiago. That's what's difficult. That's what's difficult. How do we know when we're not supposed to be trading? Mm. Mm. That's probably more like it right there. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing too, Santiago. There's definitely I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to be of significance tonight. At least I don't think so. And I have to really clean up this stuff, man. I have to really clean it up and really just clean this damn thing up and really come out with a strategy. Especially if I'm going to be copy trading. I understand that there'll be losses here and there, but I have to really consider a lot. I should know what I want. I mean, if that just means focusing on just one instrument primarily, then I'll do that. But hmm, hmm. Where's the fair value gap exactly? I don't know if I should keep. I'll pay attention to this range for tomorrow. I'll pay attention to it because this is a range right here. The market likes to rotate back and forth around the range. Hmm. We could see the market dump here. I'll use that as confluence. All right, so I got the 15-minute on ES. Fair value gaps are up and down this chart right now. I mean, for obvious reasons. And you said on the daily. Oof. You know, from a bird's eye view, this market doesn't even look bearish. This market looks bullish as fuck. I think we're just going to get a pullback, man. You're going to probably get a pullback to the 50 EMA potentially. This market is trending on the daily. This is just a pullback. Damn, what happened to you, Tony Gold? What instrument were you trading? And what was your original thesis? Ugh. Yeah, that would be kind of foolish, wouldn't it? Oof. Of course. Of course. Yeah, I hate these choppy days, man. It makes documenting more. It just makes documenting annoying. I guess since yesterday's documentation was a one-liner and it was easy, the Nasdaq's gonna make up for it today. Mhm. Yeah. I don't know why I would even think that. 11:57. God damn. Yo, the Nasdaq chopped everybody up for an hour? Damn, the Nasdaq chopped everybody up for an hour before it actually dropped. All right, man. All right, so between 846 and 848, the MNQ swept the liquidity below the opening range low, then closed within the opening range. Between 857 and 859, the MNQ closed below the opening range, then traded 44 points to the downside before retracing and closing. I feel like I should say back within. Let me see. I feel like I should say back within. Let me see. Ah, shit. Oh, no, never mind. My AI assistant told me no, I'm doing it correctly. Okay. Anyway, so between 912 and 917, the MNQ closed above the opening range. High then traded 58 points to the upside before retracing and closing within the opening range. And at 1056 through 1157, the MNQ consolidated at the opening range low, then traded 80 points to the downside before retracing and closing within the opening range. So honestly, the first breakout at 857 was 44 points. I mean, depending on how you trade, I mean that's still a good trade. The breakout above was 58 points. I mean, that's a good trade too. And then but I'm thinking everybody would prefer to have that 80-point trade. That's what I'm thinking. All right. Initial sweep happened at 846. The initial break happened at 857. I mean, about 859. Initial break 859. Successful breaker structure. I mean, technically 1157. That was probably the best one. Break higher low. At first it broke low, then it broke high, then it broke low. Initial reaction. I think we had a break and we had a consolidation and retest really. But we'll just keep it simple and consistent and call it a break and retest. A result. And if the first one was 44 low, the full move was 80 low. All right. Great. Yeah, isn't that crazy, man? We talked about that Tony Gold earlier today. What is it about these magical sim accounts that, for whatever reason, the setups happen so beautifully when the money doesn't matter? When the money doesn't matter, like in these evals or whatever, it doesn't matter. It seems like the setups always present itself in those accounts. And when you get into a funded account or your regular account, it seems like the setups like to dry up. You got to be a rocket scientist to get a to make the to get the best possible outcome out of a not necessarily an A plus setup, but maybe a C plus, B plus. But then after you blow your account, or not your account, but after the account is gone, these setups present itself. Let me see if I can find a good one on the ES. You get all this craziness in your personal or funded account, and then once that's gone, you get these great, beautiful setups that happens when you're back in an eval. I don't know why, but that tends to that tends to usually be the case, and it's like the market just knows. It just knows. It just knows, man. But all right, guys. That's it for me tonight. I'm definitely about to go to club bed so we can prepare for this Powell pump or the Powell dump. Based on the data, I guess I am kind of going into the market long biased. I do feel that we'll probably get an initial dump, maybe finish off, maybe get the Bears super aggressive, stop out the Bulls. Because if we're going to look at the charts are still in a downtrend. That is super bearish on the Nasdaq. That's a bearish candle. There's nothing bullish about that. You look at the ES on the hourly. There's nothing bullish about what's happening in the market right now. But I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of people assuming that we're going to get a pump, and I do think that that's what's going to happen. But everybody can't win tomorrow. There's going to have to be some losers on both sides. There's going to be the early bulls that might have to either DCA as it goes lower or accept the loss. And there's going to be aggressive bears that's going to have to feel it once the market gets to an area where everybody wants to be buyers. So tomorrow has a high probability of leaving nobody behind tomorrow. We're going to do our best to not get left behind tomorrow. We're going to be a part of the movement, not fuel it. So we're going to do our best tomorrow, and that's all we can do. Yeah, that's exactly right. I have a plan for both sides. So, but all right, guys, we'll definitely come back tomorrow morning, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody. Have a good night.